Do you think short-term memory is like Fallout New Vegas on the PS3 or the Xbox 360, where it's got a memory leak problem?
Oh, jeez.
And like you have to forcibly restart, i.e., go to sleep every like 24 hours. Otherwise all the memory just starts leaking into different parts of the short-term memory inside your brain. I mean,
Fallout New Vegas for PlayStation 3 had an icicle lash in the short-term memory portion of its brain.
It absolutely did.
Yeah, don't play Fallout New Vegas on the PlayStation 3. Although if it's the way you enter into the series, then yeah, like me, that's fine.
It's honestly, it's fine. That memory leak problem existed on the 360 as well. That wasn't exclusive to the PS3.
Oh, it was exclusive to consoles.
Yeah, it was just. I think that might actually be a thing even on the PC version.
I wouldn't know. This thing's been modded to hell and back.
I had to, when I would play it, when it first came out, and I was playing a bunch of Fallout New Vegas, I had to restart my PlayStation every
hour or so.
2 hours,
Yeah.
I think, like every 2 hours, because it would start doing where like the loading times would start taking longer and longer and longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you would like go into a room and the stuff that was in the room you just left would be loaded into that room, because it was just like, it was keeping everything it was keeping everything loaded to RAM.
It just performed so much worse.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
It was annoying.
Yeah, PC
annoying.
gaming for life. Never
remember
going
that.
back.
So I used to when I was younger, I did a lot of PC gaming. Do you remember getting games and they would come in a giant encyclopedia-sized book?
Yes.
And that book would have 6 CD-ROMs in it?
Well, sometimes, yeah. Although other times it was just a giant box with the single game in it and maybe a user manual.
Anyway, I remember doing PC gaming, and I remember I stopped doing PC gaming because, like, I joined the army and I couldn't keep moving around a giant PC.
Mm-hmm.
PCs used to be huge. I mean, they still kind of are. It depends on which one you get.
Yeah.
PCs used to be huge. And I started doing stuff on console. And I really liked, I would go to the store and buy the game, and I would put the game into the console, and wouldn't you know it, it would just run. I didn't have to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked that.
I don't do that anymore.
That doesn't work anymore. Now, when you go buy a game from the store, there's a very good chance that the game will not even be anything. It'll just be a fucking download code.
Mm-hmm.
And then you install the game, and you have to spend 3 hours in downloading a 7 gigabyte day one update patch.
Yep.
Just like
Disappointing.
Oh, it's pain. It's pain. And it's not like it's any better on computer. Because you still gotta download the day one update.
Yeah. I used to, I enjoyed my PlayStation 2. I enjoyed my PlayStation 3. But then I started getting into the PC gaming more, and you can mod the game. You could update the game. You could have fans who update the game and fix problems that the official developers couldn't get around to. Games that I really enjoy could have infinite lifespans because people keep on making more stuff for them. For example, Fallout New Vegas. But then PlayStation 4 came out, and I wasn't too terribly excited because they were making you pay for the online services in addition to the $100 a month, $200 a month I already pay for my internet provider. And then, like you said, you just gotta download patches, and things aren't even backwards compatible. Could the PlayStation 4 play PlayStation 2 games? No, not really.
I mean, dude, just wait. Once somebody in the PC manufacturing sphere figures out how to charge you a monthly fee to play games online, they're gonna fucking do it.
Sure, we're not there yet.
It's gonna happen.
We're not there yet. It's all good. You know what can play PlayStation 2 games though? My PC.
Yeah. Do you know what can't play PlayStation 3 games, though?
Anything besides a PlayStation 3.
Yeah, literally anything but a PS3. Well, it depends on the game.
PlayStation, Metal Gear Solid 4 is just lost media at this point. Once
Almost.
the last Blu-ray disc with that game on it is destroyed, the game will no longer exist.
I mean, they're destroying themselves.
That's
They were very early Blu-ray discs that are incredibly susceptible to bit rot.
Yeah.
So they're kind of just falling apart on their own. I don't know when it's supposed to be coming out, but the second part of the Metal Gear Master Collection is supposed to have Metal Gear Solid 3 on it. Mm-hmm. Like, Konami has it.
You mean Metal Gear Solid 4?
Yeah, I'm sorry, 4. I don't know why I said 3.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Metal Gear Solid 4.
So really, the collection Volume 2 is going to have Metal Gear Solid 4, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. So
okay.
I'm I'm not holding my breath for it.
I'm apprehensive. The architecture on the PlayStation 3, what kind of machine was that where it's like nothing else can run those games?
It's just something that happens when you have games that are one like a very early console seller game that come out at the same time the console does, and two, when you have games that are like so baked into the console. The example I always use for this is Resident Evil 2 on the Nintendo 64. Because they had to do some weird black magic to get that to function, to get that game to function on the N64. It does not like running on emulators. I cannot get Resident Evil 2 for the N64, and I own a copy of Resident Evil 2 on the N64. Right. I own a copy of it. I own a copy of it.
It's all legal.
So you don't get mad at me for emulating. It does not want to emulate.
Really?
It doesn't run. You get weird graphical issues. You get texture issues. The sounds don't work. It's Resident Evil 2 on the N64 is so dependent on running on N64 hardware that if you add the expansion pack, the game kind of doesn't really know what to do.
Oh.
It still runs. It just starts doing kind of weird, goofy, glitchy shit. It's weird. And yeah, that's the example I use for like games just being baked into the hardware they're on. It's the same thing for it's the same thing for Metal Gear Solid 4. That game is so baked into the PlayStation 3's hardware that it doesn't know what to do if it's not running on a PlayStation 3.
I see. You know what else makes emulating PlayStation 3 games difficult is the fact that damn near every game in the first couple years of that system's life tried to shoehorn in Sixaxis nonsense.
Yeah, and then now you have to find a way to emulate that, or at least like remove it from the game, and it's just like you kind of can.
You had the PlayStation 3. You play with games that had the Sixaxis controls. Were there any PlayStation 3 games that made good use of those controls to you?
No.
Because a lot of them, it's like Uncharted. If you want to balance on this log, you have to balance your controller. That's kind of it.
At least to their credit, some of those, it'll work without the Sixaxis.
Yeah.
The game will just work. It just means you don't get that mechanic anymore.
Sure. But a lot of things were requiring that.
Bloodborne was a PS4 game, but it had like the motion controls, like the Sixaxis controls. The motion controls were only for doing gestures. And sometimes when you're playing Bloodborne, your character will just decide to do a gesture because your controller decided that you moved it in a way. So you'll be in the middle of a boss fight and your character will just suddenly sit down on the ground, and it's just like, and there is no way to turn it off.
It's like you're a Pokemon trainer and your character is the level 70 Charizard you got from somebody else. You don't have the badges to control him. He just sits right down in battle.
It's just, you can't turn it off either. It's infuriating. I hate it.
The only game that I think made actual good use of the Sixaxis controls... wasn't there some Sixaxis controls in Metal Gear Solid 4?
Probably. I don't remember what they were.
Didn't you have to shake your controller to change your camo?
I think so, but I think you could manually change it as well.
Yeah. I don't remember there being a good use of...
Wasn't in the Uncharted game you had to like shake your controller forward to throw a grenade or something?
Oh, that sounds familiar, yeah.
I feel like that was a thing in Uncharted.
Yeah. The only game that I thought used Sixaxis controls well was Ratchet and Clank, because there was one puzzle that was like ever played those labyrinth games? You're trying to roll the marble around, trying to get in the hole. That was okay, but there was one weapon called the tornado launcher, and you could fire a button and fire off a tornado, and then your controls would still work like normal, but you could also control where the tornado was going by tilting your controller, so you could be playing the game normally, jumping around, shooting enemies, focusing on what's in front of you, and then see your tornado in the background, see it close to an enemy, and like tilt your controller a little bit to the left so it could suck up that enemy too.
That's kind of neat. That feels like a lot of task loading though. I mean, it's a kid's game, whatever.
Yeah. You could, and again, you could just ignore it. Just fire off the tornado, let it do whatever it wants. It'll cause some destruction off there in the background, but it was something you could do. You could manipulate it. It was fun.
I just don't like motion controls. There's motion controls in Breath of the Wild. Some of the puzzles you have to solve, like you can turn the motion controls off. I always do. That's one of the ways that you can aim the bow is by tilting either the entire Nintendo Switch or just by the controller if you're using it. I never use that. But some of the puzzles require you to rotate the controller around. There's one that's like, you know, those ball maze things where it's a big maze and you have a ball bearing that rolls through it.
Yeah.
And you have to use the little knobs to tilt it.
Yep.
There is a puzzle that is like that in Breath of the Wild where you have to tilt the controller to get the ball to roll through the maze. There's a couple puzzles
Those
like
are
that.
labyrinth puzzles, yeah.
One of the ways I solved that puzzle is by flipping the entire controller over because the other side of the puzzle is just completely flat. So I just flip the entire controller over so that it's just a flat surface instead of being this puzzle, and then just roll the ball down the flat surface and flick the ball up at the very end.
Come on, that's fun.
That's the way I've done that one because I don't like using the motion controls.
That is silly. All right, shall we get into today's adventure?
Yes.